Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J Dub. Let's get to it. So, I know you haven't seen me in a while, and I've been doing the TikTok thing, and I've also been doing my thing with Tone, but I'm going to get back to this as much as I possibly can. And I think this is really good that we get back together and we start talking about basketball again. And I want to start by talking about what I saw last night with that Golden State Warriors team. That Phoenix team, their staple is defense and their ability to force turnovers. And not only to force turnovers, to convert on those turnovers. I mean, they forced Golden State into 22 turnovers last night. Well, it's good to get a team to turn the basketball over, but what are you doing when you get that team to turn the basketball over? Well, they converted 18 points. That's huge in what we're doing. The other thing was they put Steph Curry on the defense. I equate that to a boxer. Well, if I come out as a boxer and I'm just throwing haymakers, or a boxer is coming at me and he's just throwing haymakers, that's easy to slip. But if he's coming out and he's tactical and he's popping me, well, now I have to get on the defense. And now that's taken away from what my offense is. Well, the same thing happened with Steph Curry last night. They didn't just go after him and get guys just shooting the basketball. No, they were tactical in their offense. They were getting good shots. So when they went after Steph, they went after him within the offense, where they were getting good shots, and they kept him on his heels all night defensively, which had him thinking about that offensively, and it took away from his game. I remember Michael Jordan saying, if Reggie Miller, if Clyde Drexler, if Dominique Wilkins comes out and they make their first 2 or 3 shots, that's really not a big deal to me because, Reggie's going to start talking. Dominique's going to ultimately shoot himself out the game, as well as Drex is going to shoot himself out of the game. But if Joe Dumars makes his first 2 or 3 shots, I'm in big trouble. Number one, Joe's not going to say a word to me. Number two, he's not going to chase the ball, and he's going to let the game come to him. So now I have to completely focus on defense because I know how good he is. Well, the same thing happened last night with Steph Curry, man. He was so much on his heels last night. I thought the Phoenix Suns did a really good job of taking care of the basketball. Not just that, when Devin Booker got hurt, that actually enhanced their offense. Well, what do you mean? You got a 26-point a game guy going out of the lineup. Well, now that means that they get to use the big fella even more and exploit the weakness that the Warriors have. Getting Wiseman back is going to be huge for Golden State because they're going to need him. Especially when we get into the meat and potatoes of the season, because when you run into teams with bigger guys, they're going to exploit those matchups. And you're going to run into teams with smart point guards like Chris Paul that are going to exploit those matchups where you got a big guy that's on smaller guys who can just score the basketball. And that's going to be a problem for these guys going forward until they get Wiseman. I thought the Phoenix Suns did a great job in exploiting that matchup and getting Ayton involved. He had missed 2 layups, and my first thought is, because I saw him put his head down, I'm thinking, big fella, pick your head up because we're coming right back to you. Do not let them off the hook. Stay with him. And they stayed with him. And I think that was one of the major differences. I think that was one of the major differences in them winning that basketball game last night. I really like what Phoenix is doing. I really like what they're doing defensively. I like what they're doing in terms of rebounding and in terms of creating turnovers. If they can stay healthy, I like which way this team is going. I mean, 17 straight is a big deal. And I've seen teams win 16, 17 straight games. I saw Houston do it in the 07-08 season where they won 21 games. Phoenix did it in the 07 season. I think they lost to San Antonio in the West Finals that year. But I like which way this Phoenix team is going. Absolutely, I do. I don't like what I see with this Brooklyn team. I don't. A lot of people will say, yo, they're in first place in the Eastern Conference. I'm telling you right now, it's fool's gold. Will it be fool's gold in a month or in 2 months? Maybe, maybe not. I think it's fool's gold right now. The 6 losses that they have, 4 of those 6 losses are against top 6 teams in the Eastern Conference and the number 1 and the number 2 team in the Western Conference. So against the better teams in the league, they're 0-4. And not only are they 0-4, they're -6 on the backboard. And -6 on the backboard for the game. Most importantly, -6 on the backboard in the fourth quarter. When you got Kevin Durant and James Harden leading your team in rebounding, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Their ability to force turnovers, their ability to be forced into turnovers. I watched that Phoenix game a couple of nights ago. 12 turnovers in the first half. That's a big deal when you're playing against the better teams. Those mistakes that you make, you can make those against the lesser teams in the game. But when you're playing against the better teams, they exploit your deficiencies. And a huge deficiency that the Brooklyn Nets have is they're thin in the middle. Their ability to rim protect, their ability to rebound. That's going to be a problem going forward for this team later. So when they run into the better teams, Milwaukee, that have bigs that rebound, and Lopez and Giannis and Portis, guys that gang rebound. When they run into Chicago, that got a glass cleaner like Vooch, right? When they run into Phoenix, when they got a big guy that rebounds in Ayton, those things get exploited. And when those things get exploited, it's a glaring issue for the rest of the league that this is a problem for this team, and this is how we have to attack them. Now, offensively, with Kevin Durant and with James Harden, you can make up or mask a lot of those things. But when you're playing against the better teams in the game, man, especially going down the stretch, or when we get into the meat and potatoes of the season and going down the stretch, this is going to be a problem. And it's something that they need to shore up, and they need to shore up quickly. Because teams like Miami are just going to get better. Teams like Milwaukee, you saw what happened with them. They're getting healthy. They're now in the 5th spot in the East. Here they come. So this is a problem that Brooklyn needs to shore up. Otherwise, I can very well see a second round exit in the Eastern Conference semifinals. I could see that again from them. So until then, guys, it's good to talk to you. Absolutely. And we'll be doing this more often. Absolutely, we will. We'll absolutely be doing this more often. But until then, man, take it light, but take it.